Hi, I'm Audrey Lent. I'm the agriculture science teacher and FFA advisor at Lakeside Middle School. I'm here today at Hilliker's Egg Ranch in Lakeside, California. And I want to tell you a little bit more about Lakeside Middle FFA and my role there at the program. So I'm in my third year now of teaching agriculture science at Lakeside Middle School, fourth year teaching in total. I started my career out at Poway High School teaching floral design and biology before I transferred over here. And it's been an amazing experience. Lakeside Middle was one of the first middle school chapters in California, established in 2017. So when I came in, it was still a relatively young program, and watching it grow these past few years has been incredible. We now have 175 student members across grades 6, 7, and 8, and a leadership team made up of 12 members who have done absolutely wonderful things this year. We've had some huge successes with them. They've had a record number of students at our chapter meetings. They've been highly involved in the Discovery Leadership Conference at the Lakeside Rodeo Grounds. And they've been really building the program and showing not only California, but the US as a whole, just how powerful middle school students can be and how much they can do even though they're still so young, which has been really, really wonderful to share. And they've inspired a lot of other schools to start middle school chapters as well, which has been wonderful. We came into this with really no expectations, especially post-COVID, and me being a very young teacher. Despite that, we've had huge growth. We went from having 60 members in 2021 when I started here to now having 175, so we've tripled our numbers, which has been huge. We've had continuous success in the areas of public speaking. I had 2 students become state semifinalists in 2022. We had a state semifinalist last year, and we have students who took first at section this year in the English Creed, as well as 2 students took first and second in Spanish Creed, and they're going on to compete at regionals in March. So it has been absolutely astounding to see how much growth and maturity they have for someone so young, and how invested they are in sharing FFA and sharing their passion for agriculture with the world. We've also had a lot of successes with our CDE teams. We have a number of students on our veterinary science team. They were ranked 32nd in the state last year out of all the teams in California. We also have started a meats judging team and small engines team this year, and we've got a garden club, which has been an amazing experience for students. It's allowed them to start their SAE or supervised agriculture experiences at school and then build on them from there, which has been great for students who don't come from traditional agriculture backgrounds and may not have access to the same resources and materials that some students who grew up in more rural or farmland areas have. It's also allowed for students outside of our chapter who are students at our school but not necessarily enrolled in ag classes to come get involved in the garden, learn about agriculture, and see what our program is about, which has been huge in building our numbers. It's also given them a connection to school and allowed parents to come in and participate as well and connect with their students over something that's outdoors, hands-on, doesn't require any screens, and really allows them to have a genuine relationship and a genuine connection with each other, which has been absolutely amazing to watch, because middle school is a time when students are starting to move towards more autonomy. They're becoming more independent, but they still need that adult support. And it's a time when parents can really build memories and make a few moments that really last before the kids go off to high school and they start, taking off running and doing their own thing. And it's been great for me as a teacher to be able to facilitate that as well. It's been so much fun. We have so many parent supporters, and they've totally welcomed me to Lakeside, which has been wonderful because I'm not from here. I'm from the Central Coast. Hi. Someone else wants to be in the video too. Hi, sweetie. I'm from the Central Coast, and these families have welcomed me and made me feel like I'm part of Lakeside and like I'm part of the community, like I've been here my whole life. They've set me up with connections with different businesses like Hilliker's Egg Ranch, who help support the program. Most recently, our 6th graders at the end of their cells and organ systems unit got to dissect chickens and learn a little bit more about the different organ systems of the of poultry, as well as how eggs are produced. And it was so cool to see them engaging in these hands-on lessons, and they had so much fun. They also got the chance to raise chicks in the classroom, which was a great experience for these kids. I always make sure that they are the ones doing all the work. So every day they, a team of kids, and they rotate jobs, but they come in, they change the food, the water, they clean the bedding, they do health checks, look for, bright eyes, alertness, healthy, clean beaks and nose. And it taught them so much about how important it is to care for living beings and the value of responsibility. And you could see them gaining so much confidence and respect for themselves and for other beings because of that experience. And you can see how much value they put into having the opportunity to be a caretaker. And post-COVID, having them have spent so much time online and not getting the full hands-on engagement that ag offers, now getting to dive in like that and seeing how much they're growing in such a short amount of time, because we only have the chicks in the classroom for about 4 weeks before they go on to their forever homes. It's an absolutely incredible transformation to watch, and it's one of my favorite things as a teacher.
May I ask, Audrey, there's something very special coming up that I so enjoyed meeting all kids, the parents, the other sponsors, Grange, FFA, and 4-H, and that is the Eastern Junior County Fair. Do I have it right?
Yeah, Eastern San Diego County Junior Fair.
And that's everybody's welcome. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's an absolutely incredible experience. We spent a full week at the Lakeside Rodeo Grounds. Our kids show small animals and large, cavies, poultry, rabbits, pigs, cattle, lambs and goats, both breeding and market animals. They start these animals from when they're very small, usually sometimes even from the moment they're born. Some of these kids actually raise the adults and breed their own market and show animals, which is absolutely incredible. So they are in this almost from day one.
And when's that? I'm sorry. And when is that coming up? And can you provide a link that people can look to? Is there a link that people can kind of look at the dates, and have they already scheduled like certain days, certain animals, or agriculture, whatever? What can you provide if someone wants to look ahead of time?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, if you want to come out, watch these kids show and see what all this is about, the Eastern County Fair starts on Mother's Day, which I believe is May 12th this year, and it runs through the 19th. There is going to be a website online on the Eastern San Diego County Fair website. I don't know the link off the top of my head, but I will be sure to get you that. And if you want to look on Lakeside Middle FFA's website, www.lakesidemiddleffa.com, we will have information there as well. We also have a few other events coming up here in January as well as in March to promote the Eastern County Fair that members are welcome to attend. First, we have the Heritage celebration at Lakeside Rodeo Grounds on the 28th. Lakeside Middle FFA will be there with a booth to show our support for 100 years of agriculture and 75 years of the Eastern San Diego County Fair. And on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, we are going to have the Eastern San Diego County Fair Barbecue. This is an annual barbecue and fundraiser hosted by the Eastern County San Diego Fair Board, as well as the members of the Student Fair Board, our Junior Fair members, and they host an auction where we auction off items donated by local business and community members to raise money for the fair so that we can sponsor awards, prizes, and other materials needed for the fair to help keep costs reasonable for the students who are participating.
Can I ask you how this all began, your passion to become a teacher? I know you said you started out in Poway and you're young, and you're at Lakeside Middle School for a few years now. How did that, we have a passion, I taught all my career and other things too, but how did that all begin? And then the gravitation toward agriculture and what you do and the sciences.
I always knew I wanted to work with kids and do something that was very meaningful with my life, that I felt would help and support others. I actually looked into child psychology when I was younger and was really interested in that for a long time, possibly being a counselor or a psychiatrist, specifically for youth. And then I got involved in FFA at Carpinteria High School when I was a freshman in high school. And I started raising rabbits, and then I started raising hogs. I was on the officer team, went to state conference, MFE, ALA, all these different events, and showed at Ventura County Fair, where I actually won Reserve Grand Champion my alumni year, which is where I got this buckle. And I just loved it so much. And from there, I started volunteering at Carpinteria with their FFA program after I graduated, just being a support to the students who were there while I studied at Santa Barbara City College. And then I transferred to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, where I got my bachelor's in ag science and my master's in ag education, and I got more opportunities to work with schools like Pioneer Valley FFA, Atascadero FFA, and student taught at Santa Ynez FFA. And every single time I went to these new schools, I got this experience, I worked with and interacted with these students. It just reaffirmed how valuable agriculture is to every single person on earth, regardless of how closely or loosely you're connected to it. Even if you're not directly in the industry, you are still relying on ag in some way for food, fiber, flora and fauna. We absolutely need agriculture in our life. And being able to teach students about that and show them really just how much of their world depends upon ag and how much impact they can have on the environment, on the agriculture industry, by being advocates, regardless of whether or not they end up working in that industry, by sharing information, factually correct information, by showing support for local farmers, by purchasing meat and products from students. All these little moments add up and make a huge impact on every single person within the chain of supply in the agriculture industry. And being able to share that with students, open up their eyes, and help them understand how valuable this industry is and why we need to protect it, just really showed me that what I was doing had value to these kids, that it made a difference, and I knew that it was something that I wanted to spend my life doing.
And then before we wrap this up, if I can ask you a few questions. In your teaching and agriculture and FFA and all that stuff that you do, what was a defining moment from you of your experience? Children, animal husbandry, sciences, teaching. What was a defining moment that is something that you'll always look back on?
Some really defining moments for me, it's always been with my students, and when they come to me and they tell me, I love this lesson, I never knew that science could be so exciting, that agriculture could be so interesting. I got a Christmas card from one of my students, and he told me, "You're the first teacher who's ever made me enjoy science." And that to me was so meaningful, because science is so much fun, regardless of whether it's agriculture, biology, chemistry, physics, anything in that world. Science to me has always been very interesting. It's something I'm passionate about, and it's something that I think all students should know about and value. And to know that I was able to teach it in a way that my students found interesting, that made them feel like they had a relationship with the subject material, that gave them confidence in their own ability to learn and to grow as learners and leaders, that meant the world to me, because that's my main goal in the classroom every day, is to make sure that they walk out of there knowing something they didn't know before and feeling a little bit better about themselves than they did when they came in the room.
And is there anything I'd like to say to Lakeside and the greater community before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you. I mean, I wish I could say more. I don't think there's ever words to express the gratitude I feel for the community, but they took me under their wing. Every single community member I've reached out to, worked with, has been so willing to connect, to work with the students, to support me, to make sure that we have anything and everything we need to make this program a success. And we have had people come out of the woodworks asking us, do you want this? Do you need this? Can I come into the classroom? Can I volunteer? Can I speak? Can I donate? Things that we never would have even considered asking for, because we totally thought it was outside the realm of possibility because, of money and time and everything. And these people have just continued to show up again and again for these students, and they never complain. They never question it. They just continue to be there and support them every day in every way that they can. And I can never, ever express how thankful I am to have a community that loves these kids as much as I do.
Okay.
It means the world to me.
Thank you so much.